Hey everyone, welcome to Turkish series stars. Before we jump in, make sure you're subscribed and share this video with a friend who follows every whisper from the set. Thank you for being here with us. Today, the chatter behind closed doors is louder than ever, and once again the spotlight has turned to one of the most talked about pairings in the industry, Baris and Elçin, a duo who can't escape the waves of breakup rumors that seem to follow them wherever they go. According to fresh claims from people who say they've been sitting at the same tables, Baris recently told a tight circle during a low-key meetup, "This relationship won't be over unless I say it is. The last word is mine." Those bold words reportedly came after Elçin's recent decisions shook the balance they built over years in the spotlight. Their story has never been simple. From day one, their bond has carried chapters of intense highs and quiet lows. Headlines have floated everything from "Are they really together?" to "Career clash splits them apart," and even whispers about a secret ring that only the closest friends have ever seen. Now this new claim doesn't bring clarity, it stirs the waters even more. Baris has never hidden how deeply he values Elçin. He's the kind of man who protects his private life, but when he lets emotion slip, it's sincere and heavy with meaning. Still, insiders report that the last few weeks brought friction. Schedules collided. Priorities clashed. And the calm rhythm they once cherished turned uneven. To friends, he is said to have confided something like this: "We've walked side by side for years. If we change anything, we decide it together. Nothing ends until I step back." It's a stance some find reassuring, others challenging. Meanwhile, Elçin has chosen to let silence do the talking. No public declarations, no cryptic posts, no statements crafted to please anyone. People close to her say she's craving peace, asking for room to breathe, and leaning into the momentum of her career as offers pile up and her calendar refuses to loosen its grip. Her stillness makes fans uneasy. They ask each other, whispering in comment sections and private chats, "Is this the calm before a final goodbye?" Online, the reaction is split right down the middle. One crowd insists they're meant to stand together, that what they have is rare and should be protected. Another group speaks up for Elçin, arguing that no relationship should force anyone to shrink, that independence is not rebellion but self-respect. Everyone has an opinion, and every opinion carries heat. Then came the leaks that shook their followers again. Insiders claim Baris has recently decided to walk away. For him, as some describe, Elçin isn't just a chapter, she's the turning point of the entire book. She represents shared dreams, memories carved across travel and projects, nights that stretched into sunrise. So if he indeed reached this difficult decision, it's not the move of someone indifferent. It's the step of a man who has weathered long storms in silence. On the other side, Elçin is said to be moving through a delicate season. New scripts on her desk. International calls. Projects that could shift her trajectory for years. Her days are long, her nights even longer. Friends say she's been honest with them in private moments, admitting, "I need time off from pressure. I don't have to make a huge decision every week." It's not about running away, it's about pacing herself while the world demands speed she didn't agree to. One recurring disagreement reportedly centers on what comes next. Not the next red carpet, but the next 5 to 10 years. Conversations about family planning, whether to anchor their base at home or step into more global work, and the tug of personal commitments versus international opportunity keep surfacing in complicated ways. Those close to the situation say Baris leans toward building the relationship first, while Elçin wants to guard the independence that made her who she is. Neither stance is wrong, but the friction can turn a quiet dinner into a debate that lingers. Another clue feeding speculation. Reporters haven't captured a relaxed, candid moment of them together for a while. No shared cameo at a friend's launch, no casual coffee sighting after a long day on set. That absence, more than any rumor, is what fans are reading like a sign. And yet, in the same breath, people who've spoken to Baris claim he still says the words that keep hope alive: "We're not giving up." Those words, whether stubborn or romantic, depend on the listener. Their closest circle, the ones who've witnessed both soft laughter and sharp arguments, stand by the idea that their bond reaches deeper than any filtered snapshot can show. It's the kind of connection that finds a way back to tenderness after rough exchanges. According to those friends, whenever they sit at the same table and actually speak, really speak, the tension eases. Shoulders relax. Eyes meet without armor. And suddenly they're back in that shared space where everything feels possible. As the whispers spread, a new rumor begins to take shape behind the scenes. A public statement might be on the way. Not a cryptic line lost in a caption, but something clear enough to quiet the noise. Will it be the announcement fans have prayed for, promising a reset and a new chapter? Or will it be a clean, careful goodbye crafted to show respect for a love that meant the world to them? That's the question echoing across set corridors and private group chats alike. People close to Baris insist he has always seen Elçin as the moment that redefined his path. The kind of love that makes a person revise priorities without feeling like they're losing themselves. They say he would put even major projects on pause just to win back time, to be present, to shield what matters when the cameras are gone. That is why any talk of a split lands like a punch to the chest, because it means setting down something he fought to keep. But Elçin is fighting a different battle, one that's just as real. She loves intensely, but she also believes in balance. The version of herself she's worked so hard to build wants room to grow in every direction. In quieter moments, those closest to her claim she'll reveal an unguarded truth. I look composed, but some days I want to curl up and close the door on the world. It's not weakness, it's the fatigue of a woman who lives under constant expectation. Memories still tie them together like invisible thread. Travel snapshots tucked in drawers, and on phones guarded by passcodes known only to them. Small candid moments, the espresso they shared at a sunlit corner cafe, the off-key singing during a late-night drive when the city finally slept, a random photo that captured her laughing mid-sentence. Friends say Baris keeps those unedited frames on his phone, scrolling through them when the day ends, letting a smile break through. Meanwhile, rumor has it that Elçin sometimes replays his old voice notes at night, just to hear the warmth in a tone that used to greet her first thing in the morning. Yet beyond nostalgia lies a choice they can't avoid. Either they emerge stronger, molded by the pressure instead of broken by it, or they take the painful road of stepping apart at the height of their careers. The very sentence that set everyone talking, Baris insisting the relationship won't end without his say, splits opinion. To some it's devotion in its most stubborn form, a vow not to surrender. To others it edges too close to control, a line that should be softened by mutual respect. What no one doubts is how much he fears losing her. They both know their story wasn't built overnight. It took time, patience, grace, and more second chances than they could admit in public. But fame enlarges everything. A minor disagreement becomes the talk of the timeline. A missed sighting becomes evidence of a feud. Every tiny crack looks like a canyon when a million eyes are watching, and that's the invisible wall they're forced to face. So where does that leave them now? Waiting, it seems, waiting for a conversation that lasts longer than a rehearsal call, for a day with fewer obligations, for a night where the only plan is to be honest without fear of the headline that might follow. Sources say a decision is approaching, not rushed but inevitable. If they choose each other, it'll be with clearer boundaries and a louder yes. If they step back, it will be careful and kind, honoring everything they built even as they let it rest. Until then, the city speculates. Friends remind them of the evenings when they felt like a team against the world. Colleagues whisper about how natural they look side by side, how the air changes when they enter a room together. Fans replay clips, read between the lines, and hold their breath for a sign. Maybe it'll be a joint appearance. Maybe a photo that doesn't try too hard. Maybe just a sentence that says, "We're okay." Or maybe the bravery to say, "We loved, and that love changed us, but now we have to move differently." For now, we wait. Because that's what happens when a love story becomes a public conversation. Silences feel louder, and small gestures carry the weight of a paragraph. Whatever statement comes, it will close one chapter and open another. Whether they meet at the same door or walk down separate hallways, the impact of what they shared won't fade. It's written in the way they look at each other when they forget the camera is near. It lives in the respect they've shown in public and the softness we're told they protect in private. That's where we'll leave it tonight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into their world, don't forget to subscribe and share this video so more fans can join the conversation. We'll be here, watching the signs, listening for the words, and keeping you updated the moment anything changes. Thank you for spending your time with us at Turkish Series Stars. See you in the next one.